The Slim Fast 14-day effect on your New Year's resolution. Day 1, the new year. You want to kick it off with a bang, and you're not just talking about fireworks. Day 14, you're ready to start this year right, looking great and preferably on top.
2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. Swap 2 meals a day for Slim Fast protein shakes or bars, get in a 30-minute workout, and stick to a 1,200-calorie diet to lose up to 6 pounds in your first 14 days. Find Slim Fast in a store near you.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Cougar Town After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Cougar Town After Show.
Hey there, Cougar Town fans. We're here talking about the first episode of Season 5, All or Nothing. It's so exciting to finally have a Cougar Town podcast here at AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm Matt Lieberman, and joining me on the panel this season is the lovely Jenna Couture.
Hello.
Yes. So great to talk about this show. I know it's been one of my, favorites since it premiered on ABC, just 5 short years ago. I love the cast. It's just so fun and light, and it feels
so
like
easy to watch.
Yeah, it feels like, you know what? It's like a warm hug of a show. It's a warm, wine-soaked hug. And of course, the big issue we're dealing with when we come into this episode is, after so many years of dancing around it
and sexual tension,
I know, Laurie and Travis finally together. So great, so strange to see.
So strange.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what all the fans are thinking. I wonder if it was weird for them or if you guys are loving it and rooting for it. I'm curious to see how everyone turns up on Twitter and Facebook.
I know. And, they made a point, I think, to talk about it. I think it was Grayson who was like, we feel like we need to let it play out. And I was like, okay, they're talking to the fans. They're like, listen, this is happening. It's something we've built up for so long. Yeah. We have to see where it goes. Just trust us.
Yes, trust us. Everything will be fine.
Yes. And so far, so okay.
Right.
Jules is making it a little bit difficult.
But I have to side with Jules here, because if that was me and my friend with my son, I don't know that I could get used to that. I had a girlfriend that dated my brother, and I was like, ugh, I can't do it. I couldn't even take that. So I can't imagine your mom and, dating a friend. I don't think I could do it.
It's not just that, but we're talking about Jules here, who's so codependent, who's, freakishly needy and needs to control everything, especially Travis. Mm-hmm. It's gotta be it's not a huge shock because she's known it was coming for a long time.
Yeah.
Laurie had kind of brought it up, and Travis had kind of brought it up, at different points over the series. But you're absolutely right. I don't know how I would feel if if I had a daughter and a friend of mine wanted to date my daughter. No, that's just a flat out no. There's no.
Can you imagine dating one of your mom's friends?
Not really. No.
Well, he's like, there's a few. I see it. There's maybe one.
Not of my mom's friends, but I don't know. I like Travis. I've always preferred older women. Getting personal very early, 4 minutes into the show. But I always saw the appeal to Travis of why he liked Laurie. Laurie was an adult who talked to him like an adult, even when he wasn't. Always gave him a fair shake. Thought he was, sweet like a puppy for all this time. But then, seeing her side of it, I don't know why she wants to date a guy who's he's 8 years younger than her, 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
On the show. I understand most of the guys she's dated weren't very nice people.
Yeah, well, sometimes I feel like women go for the safe, nerdy guy, later in life because they're so tired of dealing with the men that are jerks and rude, So I feel like some women take that step back, and maybe she's just going for the safe. It's safe. She trusts him. She knows.
But it's not safe. It's blowing up her whole home situation. Jules is her best friend, her former employer. It's like, it's kind of playing with fire.
It is. I think that she trusts the situation, though. Like, I feel like she trusts everyone around them to kind of support it. And I think they're so close that she's like, well, why wouldn't this be okay?
Yeah. I guess so. And she's not the type to overthink things. Well, no, it's our sweet jelly bean. She gets herself into some stuff.
Oh my gosh, how funny was Ellie? She's like, I think we just saw Jelly Bean get
jelly rolled.
I love all the sex jokes on Cougar Town. It's one of my
know,
favorite
and since they moved to TBS, they're raunchier.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, it's definitely. It had been a while since I had last seen the show, and I was just like, oh my god, she grabbed her son's erect penis.
I know. They totally took it there. They didn't just take it through to the shower. They had to take it all the way. I appreciate that. I admire that.
Well, I admire it too, because it's the kind of move a lot of shows wouldn't go for,
exactly.
But it's something that could totally happen.
You don't see that on regular sitcoms. Like they don't go that far.
Yeah. Well, it's something. It's like. There was that scene in an episode of Girls back in I think the first season, where she goes home and her parents are in the shower, and her dad falls down in the shower. She has to help him up and take him to the hospital. And to me, it felt in a lot of ways like that. They didn't show the nudity, but it still felt like this like weird lived in moment of like, this totally happened to someone. It's outrageous,
right?
But it's not out of the question, and of course totally freaks all of them out. as it should.
Yeah.
Although Laurie, I don't think, was as bothered by Jules grabbing on her honkers as Travis obviously was. That's an erect dick, man. You can't ungrab your son's erect penis. I can't get past it. I can't get past it. It's so weird. It's so gross. How are they still drinking wine? How are they alive? I'm losing it. Why? I don't know. Yeah.
Do you think it was okay that they took it there?
I think it was.
I like that they're pushing I like it.
Yeah.
I like that they're pushing the envelope.
I think that on a show like this, you can do that because the tone is so warm and sweet, and we like everybody.
And unsuspecting.
Yeah, but it's because it's so warm that you can go dirty and you can go gross, but it still feels like a safe place. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, I'm about to see something I don't want to see.
I know.
You know that by the end of the episode, everyone will be happy and in agreement again, and Jules will still be overstepping her bounds.
Right.
But it's not like she wanted to grab his dingle.
His penis.
Yeah.
Penis.
His penis.
No, I thought they packed a lot into this episode. I wish I could have watched it again because there was so many fun jokes. There was so much going on in the episode that I would just want to go back and rewatch some of the lines.
Yeah, all the foreign penny cans.
Yeah, so what's that all about? How did that happen?
Well, we'll get to that in just a moment. I just want to talk really briefly about iTunes, and then we have a message from one of our great sponsors. So thank you all for downloading this podcast, watching it on YouTube. We love doing it. We love Cougar Town. We don't get paid to do this. We're doing it out of the goodness of our heart because we love the show. We love Cougar Town, and we love talking with you. We love the AfterBuzz TV fans. You guys are the best people on the planet. Go ask anybody. They'll tell you the truth. It's true. But here's the thing, folks. Here at AfterBuzz TV, we put out 60 shows a week. That's a lot of content, a crazy amount of content that you can get for free every day of the week. Some of you at home, if you are in a generous or giving mood, may be grateful and be like, what can I do to give back? Well, here's the thing. We're not asking for your money. We're not asking for too much of your time. What you can do, which helps us in a huge way, go to iTunes. It's where you downloaded the podcast. And leave a review and a rating on the show. Slap us with a 5-star rating. Leave us a review. Let us know whether or not you like the show, what you think of us, what are we missing, favorite moments that you have from earlier in the series. We'll give you a name check here on the show. But here's the deal. It helps make our show searchable on iTunes. We want it to be the #1 Cougar Town show, Cougarton Abbey show on iTunes. So please help us out with that. It also lets our bosses know that we're doing a good job. It's really, really important. Thank you so much. And thank you for hitting us up on the YouTube and on the Twitter. We love having a conversation with our fans all year long. Now, we have, with a great show comes great sponsors. We have a great sponsor this week.
Yes, this week we have Slim Fast, and ladies, with Slim Fast, 2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. In 14 days, the only thing higher than your confidence will be your hemline. This podcast is brought to you by Slim Fast.
All right, so back to the show. So much to talk about. So on the other side of Jules's kitchen island, we have Bobby, who has gotten royalties, $14,000 worth of royalties from when Penny Can went global. So he sold the rights to Penny Can a couple of years back, and he's now seeing some money from it. In the U.S., the face of Penny Can is Lou Diamond Phillips, but overseas, it's Bobby. So all around the world, all of these tourists are coming to Florida. They're seeing Bobby. They're saying Penny Can in their own native tongue.
I know, it's so funny. And they know it so much that they're reciting it like they know the language.
Yeah. Dawson Fennig! I love Penny Can. It's one of my favorite parts of the show. It was great to see Bobby finally get his hands on some money. We know he's not great with it. He's never really had it. And Grayson is a bit pissed off at Bobby.
I know, but I thought it was kind of heartwarming when he called him out on it, and he finally explained that, I've always taken care of you because I know you didn't have it. And there was one of the warm and fuzzy parts of Cougar Town, and I just thought you appreciated it, and then now you're kind of taking advantage of it, and when you have the money and then buying the whole bar drinks and not cool.
Yeah. No, well, everyone I think has that friend who you give a little too much, you don't get quite enough. Sometimes they rub something in your face. You don't always feel like you're in a position to say something about it. I know that I certainly have. And it's hard. It's you want to do right by your friend. When they don't do right by you, it's painful. And, Grayson's somebody, he can't let it just go. He has to make it clear. Hey, man, you've been costing me thousands of dollars. Think about 4 seasons worth of beers. Bobby Cobb. It's a lot of beer. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I think that, confronting the issue and confronting him on it was the best thing to do, because that's, and I think that came up later with Jules too. And Ellie telling her, you've got to confront this and call it out as you see it, because you can't just let it build up. And they're so close that they can do that. They have that good communication.
Resentment is such a crazy thing, because it's something that can only exist in the absence of communication. Someone upsets you, they don't know that. I
like this. This is a little psychology lesson here. We're getting some words of wisdom here. I like it.
Well, I think that we can have this discussion.
I want to have it.
Yeah. So, you should always be direct with your friends, with your family, with your loved ones, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, because if you don't, all those bad feelings, they don't even know that they've made you feel, or are trying to ignore that they're making you feel. Just keep building up, and they get worse and worse and worse, and eventually you're going to lash out in a very harmful way. And in this episode, we had Grayson and Jules do exactly that. Get to it before things got really bad. Imagine, if this was the start of the Laurie Travis relationship and Jules didn't say anything, she would have popped by episode 3. It's too weird to see your son and your friend, entangled like that. And with Grayson, we're talking about thousands of dollars. And this is a guy who, he runs a small business. He had to give up his home when he moved in with Jules. He's somebody who isn't always necessarily going to be financially solvent. The fact that Bobby has this opportunity to pay him back and do right by him and doesn't is hurtful. But I think he realizes by the end of the episode, especially when Bobby comes and gives him his used hot tub, that while Bobby isn't necessarily aware of why he needs to pay Grayson back, it's not that he doesn't want to. He has a different set of laws and rules. He just didn't see it the same way. He wants to be the friend that Grayson needs, and that's all. And the want being there is all Grayson needed to feel satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the way it ended. He's like, but did you destroy something? Like, did you sever like a big part of the house to get this in here?
Jules is going to be furious.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
You know?
That's the Bobby we know.
Yeah. And then we had Andy and
Ellie, yeah. So Stan, who sometimes we see, sometimes we don't. I know it's been a long-running joke on the show that Andy and Ellie aren't necessarily the greatest parents. And Stan can't go to sleep because Andy showed him Nightmare on Elm Street. Big mistake.
Huge mistake. I watched rated R movies as a child, and now I'm scared of everything. I think
no.
that is the biggest mistake. As parents out there, do not let your kids watch it.
Mm-hmm. What was your first R-rated movie? Do you remember?
Oh, I think it was Sliver, but it wasn't scary. It was.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was
That's not scary. That's a very sexual movie.
It's actually still one of my favorite sexual movies. I love that. But I think it was like Alien. I mean, I don't remember.
Yeah.
You know, it was something scary. And I just remember sneaking into The Shining and all these really old classic movies, just watching them and then getting terrified. And still like a grown woman terrified later.
Yeah, it shapes you. Yeah. And you know, Stan has had this very visceral experience. He doesn't want to go to sleep. And Andy, he's a lovable guy. He's the mayor. He's a lawyer. He's like one of those like smart, simple guys where he's very book smart, but he's so eager and childlike to try anything that he doesn't always see the logic behind things. So, you know, when Bobby suggests, you know, what if I dress up as Freddy Krueger and you just murder me in front of your son? That'll fix him. He's like, yeah, all right, that works for me. That's great. And of course, big mistake. And Tom comes over and he's putting on the outfit. Ellie is like, oh, hell no. This is what we're going to do. So instead, they have this very nice...
I think it was the funniest part of the show.
Oh, it was so funny and so sweet.
You know, having that, well, Mr. Krueger has to leave town. And
does he really?
It's so funny. And what a good way to cancel that fear out as a parent, you know, is like having a sit down conversation with you know, not that would work for so long, but what a really creative way of, you know, relieving that fear.
Relieving the fear and dispelling it. You know, by the end of it, he's rubbing Stan's head with the bladed glove. And then, of course, Tom, being Tom, takes it too far. And he throws him the glove, and it stabs Andy in the stomach, I guess. There were no injuries, but he said, ow. I assumed he got stabbed. Yeah. It's a comedy. We can't show blood.
Yeah, but we can show some sex.
Yes.
We can show some bathroom sex.
Oh,
yes?
my God, yeah.
People getting killed? No.
Yes. Well, it's very European of them. Very European. They approve of sex, not of violence. It's a better way to be.
I know.
And for the record, my first rated R movie was Lethal Weapon 4, and I was like 10 years old.
Okay, what was your first scary movie, though?
First scary movie? Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
Can you remember that one?
I hated scary movies as a kid. I wouldn't watch them. Yeah.
Do you hate them as an adult?
I'll watch them, but I'm not like the craziest about it. Yeah, we got to get back on topic. I just got a signal that says we were off topic. Okay. Another little...
But then Jules walks in on them again at the end.
Jules has just the worst timing in the world. But my favorite thing, which was just so quintessentially Jules, was when she's like, you know, like, I'm so happy, like, this relationship is going to work out. And Travis is like, which relationship are you talking about? This one where he points to him and Jules, or this one where he points to him and Laurie? And she's like, it's all the same thing. You know,
Totally
we're
fine.
in this relationship together, right? Yeah, no. We got Big Tippy got name checked and used this week.
Yes. That was a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Always need Big Tippy when you catch your son tipping your friend.
Oh my gosh, twice.
But
But how the conversation with Jules and Grayson and her trying to be cool with it and making out with them and then going around and talking about what they like in bed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that
my
was
gosh,
so uncomfortable.
Bear claw? I was like, what is bear claw? I'm going to have to Google that later.
Well, knowing Tom, it's something very strange and that no one wants
probably.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And
he's probably curled up in the fetal position somehow. I don't know what you could accomplish if he's in the fetal position. You could do something to him we're getting off topic.
Right. Yeah, but the hair pulling and mirror sex, I was like, oh, I'm glad they used some real examples. And then sex in a cemetery, I think is what Laurie
Laurie said.
But I don't know if she said that was her favorite or just most awkward thing that she had happened. I can't remember.
No, I think it was just like it was just in the context.
Risky sex in public. That's probably what she meant.
It was just in the context of like uncomfortable and her walking in on the two of them in the shower. Like that's not the worst place that I've, and I mean, cemetery stuff, it does happen. And sometimes it can,
Matt, are you speaking from personal experience?
We're not going to talk about this on the Cougar Town podcast. The Cougar Town podcast is not the place. We'll find another podcast to talk about that. But yeah, I like that they were using real examples because it made it more alarming. Like I put myself in Travis's shoes. And I'm like, I don't want to know. I would not want to know that. Would not want to know. Don't even want to guess. Don't even want to have an inkling of a guess in the realm of possibility. No.
Yeah, but he is saying no, and then he's being so affectionate with Laurie. So it's like, I don't want to know what you're doing, but just let me throw my stuff all over the place.
He's like 22. We have to remember this. He's like 22 on the show. Like, of course he's had a crush on her since he was a kid. He's not necessarily tact is not going to be the first thing that comes to his mind.
Matt, thank you for putting it in a male perspective.
Well, no, don't thank me because so many things are in a male perspective. We need more female perspective. Why am I trying to be so PC on the Cougar Town After Show?
I don't know, but this is obviously a show where you don't have to. Anything goes.
Anything goes on Cougar Town. It's true. It is called Cougar Town. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to the title card joke. This episode was really funny. It was Cougar Town season 5 didn't see that coming.
That's so funny. Their jokes are so funny in the beginning of the shows.
Yeah. I loved, especially last season, they had like a running one that went on for like 4 or 5. I can't remember it right now. I'll bring it up next week.
Okay.
That's on me.
I want you to remember.
That's my bad. Yeah. Call me on that, audience. If I don't bring it up, that's messed up of me. I should have done that. One last thing we got to talk about. So Tom, he finally figured out the structure of the show. He's like, everyone starts hanging out here, and then you all go off and you have your own adventures. So I got these puppies, and I'm going to be a part of the action throughout the whole episode. Yeah. And it was a lot of fun seeing him pop up everywhere.
And I like him. I like him added to the group. I feel like he's officially in the group.
Yeah.
And I like including people. I don't like leaving people out.
Yeah. Well, I think when Tom started popping up, he kind of took over the negative feedback that the group would send to Bobby and to Andy sometimes. Mm-hmm. And it's good to have like a scapegoat who like just sweetly, pathetically likes them anyway. Mm-hmm. Even though they're all being mean, for some reason it makes me like them even more because they're kind of the cool kids.
Right. But it's funny because last season there was an episode where he started dating somebody else, and they, Jules and Laurie were like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And they like investigated and broke into his house, and, they were, so it's like the minute he starts to kind of leave, I think,
yeah,
they're just like, hey, wait a second, that's our friend.
Well, it's a crucial part of the group.
They thought he was being taken advantage of, and I think he was, and so they kind of totally stepped in. So,
well, good for them.
I know we didn't talk about my favorite part of the show, which was the sexy, touchy, grabby.
Oh yeah,
oh my
gosh, sexy, naked, touchy, grabby.
Yeah.
Which like I thought was going to be like sexy, naked, touchy, grabby instead of it says like sexy, naked, touchy, grabby, which I guess is what they went with. And this show, they have a knack for coming up with songs. I'm surprised that they didn't do like a remix by the end of it. One of my favorite bits ever was when Grayson was trying to talk to Jules, who's like, in a relationship, something, and she's like, I'm going to say I told you so, and I'm going to do it in song. And Ellie remixed it, and it was so funny. Yeah, that's entertaining, talking about like a bit that I can't even remember.
Oh,
no.
We're just back. It's been a long season without Cougar Town. We're just excited.
Yeah.
We can't think.
We're getting back in the groove. First episodes are always a little rough.
I know, but this one, it was jam-packed with a ton of jokes. Mm-hmm. Super funny. Loved it.
Loved it. I can't wait to see what else we've got this season. I'm very curious to see where they're going to take these characters this year. Yeah. You think about where they were in the beginning and where they are now, and we've seen so much evolution.
Everyone's coupled up.
Yeah. Let's go into predictions.
And now,
All right.
your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay. So, Jenna, predictions. Of course, we need to talk about, do we think that Laurie and Travis have what it takes to go the distance? Do you think maybe we're going to see some new love interests for Bobby? Any new complications in the Grayson Jules marriage? Well, what's your take?
I think if I had to predict
Yeah.
that
And you do.
that it is going to be weird for a few more episodes. I think they probably have what it takes to make it, but I don't know if Jules is ever really going to come around. She's got such a, I think that she's got an accommodating personality, so I think she's going to really try, and then I think she's going to come to the conclusion, like, it's just too much, it's too weird. Mm-hmm. And she might just come around the corner and end up being okay with it, but I don't think she's going to. I don't think it's going to. I would like it to keep going because, I would hate to see two people that were really attracted to each other not be able to work it out over a circumstance. But
I mean, here's the thing, though. He's also very young. He's very young. He hasn't really lived a full life yet.
That's when you get them, Matt, when they're young and they're jaded, and before they're jaded and they don't know anything, and that's the time. Bear claw. That's making sense.
That's terrifying. What, you're just kidnapping young men?
Young men, that's what you do.
Before they have their defenses up?
Yeah, exactly. And
Jesus.
they're so, accommodating, eager to please. She did say that he
was
was
eager to please, wasn't I?
See, they're harder workers, very attentive.
Attentive lovers.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
You must go young. That's why I love the show.
Okay, you heard it here first, folks.
Now, what do you think?
Get them while they're young. Okay, I think I'd like to see the Laurie and Travis relationship work out. We've been building to it for so long.
I know. It would be so sad to see it
dissolve
in 2 episodes.
Yeah, but I know that if it does end, it will be because it's right for them. As people, it's definitely weird seeing the two of them together. The age gap, it's a bigger deal when you're younger. Like, the older you get, I feel like an age gap doesn't make as much of a difference. But he's just starting his life. I understand it's better, to get him while
get him while they're young ladies.
Get him while they're young ladies. But for him, it all depends on how much does he love her. Because that's the thing. If he loves her the way that I think he does, then he doesn't care. He won't care that he hasn't really seen much else of the dating world. I mean, he wanted to propose to his girlfriend a couple seasons ago when he barely knew her.
See, that's what I'm talking about, guys. They don't know any better when they're younger.
I guess it's true, but won't he resent her later on?
No, because he'll just know there was just her, and he just loved her.
Okay.
Have you listened to any Jack Johnson song?
No, I've never listened to a Jack Johnson song. Okay, we got to wrap up. Jenna Couture, where can the people find you?
I am at Jenna Time Tweets.
Okay.
And where are you?
Well, are you on any other AfterBuzz shows?
I'm not on any other AfterBuzz shows, and I don't do any social media besides Twitter, really.
Okay, that's fine. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MattLieberman. You can also find me here on AfterBuzz TV on a bunch of shows. We got Almost Human. We got Sleepy Hollow wrapping up this month. We got Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. betas on Thursdays, and then I'm starting a bunch of new shows this month. I know, it's painful. Don't look at me while I'm listing these shows. I'm starting True Detective on Sunday. Monday, I'm starting the new shows for Helix on Sci-Fi, which is a cool horror thriller. And Banshee Season 2 on Cinemax, which is an awesome show. I'm interviewing Jonathan Tropper, the executive producer, tomorrow. I'm also doing Sherlock and Lost Girl.
Oh my God, I can't believe this list is still going.
There may be more. I'm wrapping it up, Marissa. Jeez Louise.
So much pressure.
I know. Thank you all so much for joining us. We're going to be here all season long.
All season. I actually think that Laurie might get pregnant next episode. I'm just saying. I was just thinking, if they're really going to throw a twist in there, I think it would be great if she got pregnant next episode.
Oh, man. I can't wait to see. So we'll find out next week. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.